Good morning and welcome to Virtual Pathdays. This session is Rhode Island College transfer session for Environment and Sustainability. And I'd like to turn it over to Lucy Saunders from RIC. Good morning, Lucy.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. I am going to share my screen with you. What I will do just to start with is to give a general overview of the college, give you a better idea of what Rhode Island College is, and then we'll move on with Sara, which is a little bit more of the nuts and bolts, advising specific areas of study within environmental and sustainability. Just some basic information about Rhode Island College. We are the original higher education institution in the state of Rhode Island, started in 1854 as a normal school, which is primarily education of teachers, and we've evolved since then. 5 different schools within our college now: School of Education, School of Nursing, School of Social Work, the Faculty of Arts and Sciences, which is primarily where most of the majors within this cluster would be contained, and then also School of Business. I just wanted to give you an idea of campus, since you can't be there right now. We have a number of new buildings that have gone up, either recently renovated or new areas within the campus. The first I'll highlight is in the top left, Gage Hall, which is one of our main arts and sciences buildings. That was very recently renovated to include more technology in the classroom spaces, and really in conjunction with feedback from our student body. So a lot of congregational spaces, meeting spaces, open spaces where students can meet together, can study outside of the library. So really a more student-friendly and technologically advanced space. We also have Craigley Hall, which is another arts and sciences, general education building. That one also renovated in 2019 with more open spaces. School of Education, which is currently under construction in the bottom left. And when that is finished, that will really be a state-of-the-art facility for educating the states and the region's teachers. And then in the top right, we have 2 newer facilities, our School of Nursing, and then also in downtown Providence, a shared center, Rhode Island Nursing Education Center, which is where most of our nursing students will do the final couple of years in their bachelor's degree programs. It is in downtown Providence and is shared between ourselves, University of Rhode Island, and Brown University. Some popular majors and newer majors really at our institution. We have a number of different areas that I did want to highlight. First being health sciences, where we're strong in the sciences on our campus. Within health science specifically, we have, just by virtue of where we are within a large hub within the healthcare field, we have a number of different majors in the health sciences area. We have the standard ones like nursing, but we also have things like human services for people looking for careers within the healthcare field, but not necessarily in a certification area like medical imaging or in nursing. We have an interesting major within the School of Education that allows for quite a bit of flexibility called youth development. It's a non-certification track, meaning it doesn't lead to state certification in public schools, but more leads to a track in education within a more informal setting, things like community centers, sports and recreation programs, after-school programs, programs within religious groups. You earn a bachelor's degree as well as a certificate in nonprofit studies. And then the adaptability of it is you get to choose and a path as far as a specialization in an academic area. So you could run a community center program in art or in music or in any other area. You also earn a certificate in nonprofit studies, and an internship or field experience is included as part of that program. So you're getting experience before you graduate. I touched on medical imaging programs in radiologic technology, which is X-ray, nuclear medicine, MRI, and also CT, and an RT management program for people who already have licensure in medical imaging. Community public health promotion, which is another growing area. Areas like healthcare prevention, education programs geared towards different medical initiatives, so public health promotion, and then you could specialize in specific populations like the aging population or women's health issues. Another newer program is going to be wellness and exercise science, which there's a whole host of different certifications that you can get in this area through various certification organizations, things like strength and conditioning, exercise physiology, personal training, and a lot of those require a bachelor's degree in exercise science, which this degree would fit that standard. They also require a certain number of hours in the field, and both of these programs include a practicum and internship experience, which contributes to those hours required. We have a couple of new majors that we've added as well. Data science, which is in our Department of Mathematics and Computer Science. We have a communication concentration in journalism. And for people who want to add on to any major that you have, we find a lot of students will have a major area of study, but also have an interest in other areas. So I highlighted a couple of interesting and newer minors, and you can also do a minor in pretty much any major available on our campus. Some of the exceptions would be the fields that require certification, like education and nursing, but most of the other majors can be added on as a minor to any area of study. Environmental studies, which is probably most relevant to this cluster. With our environmental studies major, what we do is an interdisciplinary approach to environmental science. So it'll combine the scientific element, it'll combine humanities courses, it'll combine even things like anthropology within this major. And this leads to a whole host of different careers within the environmental studies field. Being in Rhode Island and being in the New England area, a coastal area, an area with a good number of forested areas, it really is a great area to pursue environmental studies. And I listed some of the possible career paths here: sustainability, natural resources management, environmental education, consulting, even things like park and recreation, ecotourism, urban agriculture, and even things you may not have thought of, like environmental journalism. We also have a number of certificate programs as well in sustainability areas. So a good slate of environmental and sustainability related programs on our campus. I did also want to highlight, because students sometimes tend to have an interest in 5-year programs, bachelor's and master's programs. So I highlighted the ones that we do have: justice studies, healthcare administration, mathematical studies, psychology, as well as English. One of the things that we do stress a lot on our campus is real world preparation. So we try to incorporate an experiential element into all of our programs. Some of the ways that we do this is with a number of different things. First being undergraduate research, which is probably most relevant to this area. One of the great things about our campus is, while we do have graduate programs, they're relatively small compared to other institutions, which gives a lot of opportunity for undergraduates to contribute and to take part in research with faculty members on our campus. So that's experience you can gain as an undergraduate. Again, we like you to start building your resume before graduation. Moving on in that faculty vein, the faculty end up being your academic advisors, which is another plus to these programs. They are faculty who are experienced in the field. They become your mentors, they become your advisors, not just for course selection, but for these types of extra opportunities, possibilities for internship, being paired up with research with faculty members, other opportunities that might enhance your education with kind of the future goal you have of how you will use that degree in sight. They can help you kind of form that game plan as to how you're going to structure your education with your future goals in mind. We have a number of different study abroad and national student exchange programs as well. National Student Exchange is an exchange program within North America. So there's a network of public colleges and universities within the US and Canada, and it operates like a study abroad program. You would do a semester or 2 semesters at another public college or university within North America. And you do end up paying Rhode Island College tuition as part of the National Student Exchange program. So that is a plus, lower tuition. I mentioned internships, general education program. Even within general education, we try to keep that real world, pardon me, preparation in mind. When we revised our program in 2012, we gained input from the professional community, asking them what are the skills that they feel are essential to new employees within their company. And they came back with a load of feedback. So things like communication skills, writing in the discipline, knowledge of a second language, those are all incorporated in our general education program. Every major has a component that will teach you how to write in your area of study. Everybody who graduates from Rhode Island College would have to have at least elementary level knowledge of a second language. So those are all practical components contained within our general education program. And then kind of the preparation for life beyond the bachelor's degree. Within our Career Development Center, they offer a whole host of services for students. In addition to helping you find internships and jobs while you are a student, they'll prepare you for the interview process. So they do job shadowing opportunities, resume review, they'll do mock interviews, and those services are available to alumni as well. So even after graduation, you can take advantage of some of the resources within the Career Development Center and also our online job board as well. Academic opportunities for students. Now, there's a couple of different opportunities available to transfer students. In terms of academic type opportunities within the classroom, we do have an honors program that is open to transfer students. Minimum GPA requirement for that program is a 3.5 GPA. So if you feel like you need kind of that extra bit of challenge within your education, a little bit more in depth on topics, the honors program is probably something for you. There's two components: the general education, which is a number of your general education courses, if you do have any to complete once you do transfer over to RIC, would be in an honors setting. So that usually means more roundtable discussion, smaller class size. General education honors classes typically around a dozen to 15 students. And then the second component is going to be the departmental honors. So this piece is towards the, within your junior or senior year, you'll be working with a faculty member within your major, working on a final project. So it can be research, it can be a thesis, it can be anything really. And that is done in conjunction with this faculty member. You're able to present it at a symposium at the end of the year in a poster session. And this is special distinction at graduation. It's something you can put on your resume. It's something that shows up on your transcript if you were to apply to graduate programs, and then a whole host of other things associated with our honors program, social and academic activities, different honors conferences, opportunities for research. There are also some scholarships available with our honors program. Academic scholarships, the presidential scholarship for transfer students is only available to students coming in the fall. The priority deadline for academic scholarships, we actually have the freshman deadline here. For transfers, it is February 1st. And that scholarship is about $3,000 a year, as long as you maintain a B average at the school, so it is renewable. We do have alumni awards for children and grandchildren of alumni. So if your parents or grandparents are proud RIC alums, you are eligible for alumni awards. But I will say the bulk of our financial aid is usually administered on a need-based basis. So I do recommend that you complete a FAFSA, which is what we require for need-based financial aid, and submit that. Make sure Rhode Island College is on the list of schools that receive that information. And close to 80% of our students receive some sort of financial aid. How to apply to RIC. I'll go over first year students briefly, because sometimes transfer students will ultimately fall in the first year category. The bar that we use as whether you're evaluated as a first year student or a transfer student is the number of credits that you've achieved in college. So that bar is 24. If you have 24 credits or more, you're evaluated as a transfer student, which means solely based on your college record. If you have fewer than 24 credits earned in college, you're evaluated as a first year student. Your credit is still transferable based on our transfer guidelines from your previous institutions, but fewer than 24 credits, it's not enough information for us to solely evaluate you based on your college record. So we would ask if you have fewer than 24 credits earned in college that you submit your high school information, which means your high school transcripts, a recommendation. We're flexible with the counselor recommendation. Different schools have different counselor loads. So it may be that a teacher has a better idea of your academic ability than a school counselor. So we'll also accept a teacher recommendation towards that requirement. And then for this academic cycle, we are operating test blind, because of the number of testing center closures. If you were unable to take an SAT or ACT or anything like that, we don't require it as part of the admissions process. You can submit it if you want to, but you're not going to be penalized because you did not take any standardized testing. Now for transfer students, which is probably where the bulk of students will fall, the application requirements are super simple. Just a common application online, $50 application fee, and then official transcripts from all colleges that you have attended. If you have at least 24 credits earned in college, you do not need to submit the college essay included with Common App, and you don't need to get us a recommendation. It's really just application fee, and official transcripts. Also, the requirements for admission for transfer students are pretty cut and dry as well. You've already demonstrated that you can be successful in college. That's good enough for us. So 24 credits earned in college, 1 full year full time, and then a minimum of 2.0 GPA, which is a C average or higher. Application deadlines for transfer students. We're going through the spring and fall cycles simultaneously right now. So the spring application deadline for January is going to be December 15th. You should have a FAFSA into us by November 15th. The FAFSA is open now. And then for fall applications, you have until June to submit an application for us. We'll wait until July 1st for transcripts. And if you're applying for fall, I would recommend getting your FAFSA in by April 15th, but I would say even earlier than that. The easiest way to go through the transfer process and the application process, if you are concerned about financial aid, is to try to have your application and your FAFSA in around the same time. That way, once your acceptance goes through, we already have the financial information. We can do a package for you fairly quickly, and you'll have all the information you need to make a decision. So aim to try to have your FAFSA and your application completed around the same time. After acceptance, you'll receive a formal acceptance letter through the mail, which will contain instructions on how to enroll online. As part of the submission of your application, once you submit that Common App in your email, you will receive login information for the Rhode Island College website, where you can check the status of your application. Once you are accepted, that becomes an accepted student account. So you can pay your enrollment deposit through that same portal. Once you are enrolled, that becomes a Rhode Island College student account. And you'll be able to do everything a Rhode Island College student could do. Register for orientation, use your RIC email, look at all your student information, view your transfer credit. So it all goes through that same portal. So keep an eye out on your email once you do submit your common application to get that login information. Orientation for the spring, it looks like it will most likely be in an online setting. We try to maintain the same set of services, whether it be online or in person, which would include a orientation to services available to you on campus, meeting with an advisor, registration for your first semester classes, information on student activities, clubs and organizations available on campus, and then also contact with our orientation leaders and some RIC students to help you get acclimated to campus. And that's all I have from my piece of the presentation. I'm going to turn it over to Sara so that she can talk about kind of the nuts and bolts of the majors contained within this cluster.
Thank you, Lucy, and thank you for joining us, everyone. My name is Sara Riley. I'm an academic advisor in the Office of Academic Advising at Rhode Island College, and in my primary role, I serve as a transfer advisor. So I work frequently with CCRI students who are intending to transfer over to Rhode Island College. If you're, a year or two out from transfer and you want some help thinking about what kinds of majors and programs are available at Rhode Island College, what courses you should take while you're still at CCRI, what courses would look like at Rhode Island College, you can have that conversation with me. I'm happy to exchange emails or schedule something more formal. What I would like to do in the meantime is show you a little bit around the Rhode Island College website and to how to gain more information about our academic offerings. So I'm at the Rhode Island College webpage. This is just ric.edu. And I'm going to show you two different ways that you can access information about our majors and programs. I direct you to the kind of grade taskbar at the top here. First way I'm going to show you would be Future Students. So if you click on the Future Students link, you're taken to a page that has a bunch of resources that are useful to students considering transferring or coming to Rhode Island College. So there's information about admissions, things to do on campus, financial aid, housing. So you can take a look at these links as it pertains to the areas of interest or any concerns or questions that you have about RIC. I'm going to direct you to the academic programs section, particularly the majors and programs link. This will take you to a full listing of our majors and programs for undergrads. This is an alphabetic list. So these are all of our majors and programs that we offer. So the majors, also this major list includes minors, and there's additional information about minors at the bottom. As Lucy said, most of these majors can be turned into minors or have minors available to them, but some, like say social work or nursing, would not. I want to take you to the Environmental Studies department. So how this list works is that there's two different kinds of links. There's a link to the department webpage and a link to an advising guide, or a roadmap as we call them. I'm going to show you the roadmap first, and then we'll go to the department webpage. The advising guide lives in this little map link here, and when you click on it, you'll be able to view a full list of requirements for this academic major. So our Environmental Studies BA requires these courses. Page 1 is a checklist. And this pertains to the major only. It does not include general education. To receive a degree at Rhode Island College, you need to complete your gen ed program, your major program, and those two programs should add up to 120. So 120 credits will get you your degree, and you're going to transfer in some of those credits as well. Some may apply to gen ed, some may apply to this major, or whatever major you choose, and others will go into a free elective category. So you can see this is truly an interdisciplinary major. So there's environmental studies courses within the department, biology, chemistry, so more science-based courses, and also things in history, anthropology, philosophy towards the humanities side. So you'll get both aspects of environmental studies, the more sciencey and the more humanities. You will also have your choice of going in depth in a particular area of interest. So 4 depth courses. And there's a full list available. I'll show you that on the department webpage. But you get to tailor this degree, at least in the depth portion, to your area of interest. If you go to the subsequent pages on the advising guide, you'll see a semester by semester breakdown. And this is most useful, say, if you're transferring with those 24 credits or early on in your program, because if you're coming over, say, with a full degree, 60 credits, then you may have taken these courses out of order. This is a suggested guideline. The use of this, particularly for transfers, is to see in general what courses should be taken before what courses, what milestones need to be met. So as a transfer student, you're probably going to land somewhere in this semester 2E, 3, 4 section, depending on how many credits that you have. So you want to make sure that you've completed the requirements that come, say, above the semester in which mathematically you have transferred in. The value in the semester by semester guide, as I stated, is order of courses, but also in this right-hand side here where it lists checkpoints, because this will tell you prerequisites for courses. It will tell you about milestones, about what needs to be taken when, how many credits you should aim for each semester, when you should meet with an advisor. So there's different kinds of information, not only just what courses should be taken, but also timelines and milestones, checkpoints, as we call them on this guide. And this is useful for thinking about academic and program requirements. Every major has a roadmap. If we go back to our list, environmental studies, click on the link, we're taken to the department webpage. Every department's page is a little different, okay, but it has the same structure. So you'll have a blurb about the program in the landing page here. On the right-hand side, you will have the program director or department chair's name. So Professor Mary Baker is the program director for environmental studies, and she is an anthropology professor. And you will also find other contact information, phone numbers, location on campus. So currently, the environmental studies program is based out of Gage, which is one of our newer buildings on campus, and also other links that may be useful to you. Where I want to direct your attention on the department web pages is on the left-hand side. So you'll have information about academic requirements, the roadmap links. Sometimes you'll find them under program requirements, sometimes you'll find them in separate links. There's information about program goals. So each department has some version of program goals, learning outcomes. This is a statement from the program or from the department about what students should be learning while they're engaging in this academic program. So if you're not quite sure where you want to land in terms of major or minor in environment and sustainability studies, take a look at program goals for majors or areas of interest and see if they align with what you're looking for. So if these learning goals for environmental studies sound like something you would like, then I would encourage you to reach out to the department chair or the program director for more information, learn a little bit more about the program, or you can go more in depth on the department's web pages. So you'll see there's some information about the experiential learning programs in environmental studies. So this talks about the senior capstone course and other experiential learning within that program, so hands-on learning. You can see what other kinds of information is available. There's a pamphlet for the program, a department created advisement sheet. So for each department of your area of interest, take a look at the links that are available in the left-hand sidebar, and you'll have information about, more information to help you make a more informed decision about particular program choices within your areas of interest. Another way that you can have an overview about what kinds of programs are available and that may be of interest to you at Rhode Island College would be to come up here to the Current Students tab. I'm going to bring you to the list of department chairs and program directors. So this is in our Current Students tab. It's the very first link under Academic Resources, Academic Advising. From that advising page, you're going to click on the For Students link in the sidebar and drop down to List of Department Chairs and Program Directors. The reason why I want to direct you to this page is that it is a list by school, by college. So there are different colleges in our campus, different schools on campus. Environmental studies, biology, chemistry, so the majors that would most likely align with the environment and sustainability studies pathway, probably going to fall under the Faculty of Arts and Sciences. So this is divided by school. Say you're also thinking maybe, maybe you want to do nursing. That's a thought. You can drop down to, it's an alphabetical list, School of Nursing, and find the information there. But let me back up because I want to highlight one of our chemistry programs for you. It's in the Physical Sciences department. Okay. So in each cluster, each section of this list of department chairs, it's a list of department chairs. So you have the name, office, phone number, and email address for most listed. So there'll be contact information for the department chair. I mention this because it's good at first glance just to take down or copy and paste a list of emails of chairs of in areas of interest for your academics. Reach out to these people. They are ready and willing to answer your questions, provide you more information, background about the program or department that they chair. It's a very transfer-friendly campus. I work closely with these faculty members to make sure that the information I'm providing you is up to date, and most are always very open to the idea of either visiting campus or engaging with students directly. So I'm pointing out physical sciences because I want to point out in our chemistry program just one other major that would align closely with environment and sustainability. So we talked through our dedicated environmental studies major, but we also have an environmental chemistry concentration. So this chemistry degree will focus on environmental chemistry. So you'll see exactly what environmental chemistry is. You have that foundation of chemistry program, and then a little interdisciplinary knowledge thinking about how the environment impacts. So if we actually look at the advising plan there, you'll see, so we're gonna, that's biochemistry. You'll see the course requirements for environmental chemistry. Here's your chemistry foundation. And then you also have targeted environmental analytical chemistry, marine environmental chemistry, and there's also those experiential and hands-on lab and research study opportunities for students within this major. So if you wanted to learn a little bit more about what the chemistry department, the chemistry program offers within the physical sciences department, you can take a look at the department webpage. Once again, see there's a link specifically for student research opportunities. So you can take a look at, they provide a list of the area of interests of the faculty members, and you can click on for more information about the research labs or contact these professors directly and talk about perhaps possible future research opportunities, joining their labs or their research projects, particularly related to your area of interest. If at any point you have general questions or general concerns and you don't yet want to go directly to a faculty member, if you go to the top here, the About RIC tab, open that up, you'll find the faculty and staff directory, alphabetized list. You can find my contact information or Lucy's contact or anyone that you would like to contact. I'm under R, and you will find me. Oops, here I am. So you can reach out to me via email. That's the best way to reach me, or you can leave a voicemail message on my office line, and I will get back to you in due time, and we'll have a chat.
Thank you so much, Lucy and Sarah, for being with us today and letting us know about transfer opportunities at Rhode Island College. If you are watching this in recording, then please know that you will be able to access this recording for quite a long time, and that if you need to go back and view it to get Sara or Lucy's information or website information to contact RIC, you can feel free to do so. And otherwise, I encourage everyone to attend our later sessions today, and we will see everyone for RIC transfer for STEM in just a little while at 11 o'clock. And we also have Meet the Faculty later on today, as well as Meet the Programs for STEM and Environment and Sustainability. And I'd also like to give a plug for the job fair, the virtual job fair happening at CCRI through Handshake. And that is next week, November 12th from 10 to 1. And you can find more information and register for that event right on the CCRI webpage. If you look for career services, it's front and center on their page. Thank you again, Sara and Lucy, for being with us today. Everyone have a great day.